everyone, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I'm here to do a quick card share / process video on how I created this birthday card for my brother-in-law. I will share with you guys that I created this background with a kind of faux embossed look using the Paper Smooches hibiscus die. And then I created this cluster of flowers and leaves using that hibiscus die and the Paisley's die set. And to get these vibrant colors, I used Ken Oliver color bursts. I used Merlot, Terra Verte, burnt orange, and a little bit of yellow ochre. For the sentiment down here, I just used a little scrap of black cardstock and heat embossed, wishing you a birthday filled with sparkles, smiles, and laughter, which is a sentiment from this old retired Hero Arts stamp set. I'm not sure what the name is because it doesn't say it on the packaging, but I imagine if you looked up Hero Arts Clear Princess stamp set, it would come up. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the process video. So first, to create a background with a kind of faux embossed look, I'm going to die cut out the hibiscus die and just remove the outside edge of the die. So you see me popping out all the petals. I'm going to cut out like 10 of these and glue these all on to my card base for a white on white look with a little interest from the texture. To glue all of these on, I'm using Art Glitter Glue. That's my favorite wet glue with a fine tip nozzle, because once I get those adhered onto my card base, the glue dries absolutely clear. And I'm going to glue all of these onto my card base in a very random arrangement, even having some of the flowers and the leaves hanging off of the card edge. Here you see some of the flowers hanging off the edge, and I'm going to be snipping those off. I'm flipping it over so that I don't cut the card base itself. And I actually reuse some of this excess onto other areas on the edge of the card base so that it looks like the entire card base is cut from a larger piece that has this pattern. Now I'm working with some scraps of 140-pound Strathmore watercolor paper. I'm wetting it down with a paintbrush and just plain water, and I'm sprinkling on some Ken Oliver color bursts. The scrap that you see with the reddish color is Merlot, and the scrap that you see me working on right now is with a green color called Terra Verte. And you see me moving around some of the pigment powder with a paintbrush now, and that's just to make sure that it spreads nicely and that the colors don't get too intense in the areas where the pigment powders might have bunched up a little bit. For this third scrap of paper, I'm spraying the paper down with water, and then I'm trying to first start with yellow ochre. This has a yellow orangey color to it, but once I spray it some more and move the pigment powder a little bit, I think it's a little bit too light. So then I go back in with burnt orange, and I like the intensity of that color much better. I love the combination of a pink or a burgundy with orange. I think that's such a beautiful, intense color combination, and I think it's going to work beautifully for these hibiscus flowers. Don't ask me how I know, but one thing I will say is that you shouldn't squeeze those Ken Oliver color burst bottles. Just tap from the bottom and plenty will come out. Because I want the Merlot color to be a little bit more spread out, I'm sprinkling on some more pigment powder, and you see, oh my gosh, there was a big clump of it that came down. So I'm moving it around, spreading around those pigment powders to the other areas of the watercolor paper. I like this intensity much better. And of course, because I'm impatient, I took my heat tool to this watercolor paper to dry up this watercoloring faster so that I could start die cutting. Now I'm going to run through these colored watercolor paper scraps through my Big Shot with the hibiscus die. And for the orange papers, I'm going to just use the outside outline of the flowers, and I'm going to trim away the leaf portions, and the petals I'm going to use from the Merlot die cuts. To create this flower cluster, I took the outside edges of the hibiscus flowers from the orange watercolor papers. I took the inside petals from the Merlot papers, and I combined 3 of these flowers in a cluster. And to create some added dimension, I glued this back flower down completely onto the card base. I popped up this flower up on 1/16 inch thick foam adhesive, and then I popped up this front flower on 1/8 inch double-sided foam adhesive. So it creates a nice trio of dimensional flowers. And then for the leaves, I popped some of the inside pieces out and tucked them in behind other areas. I used these 2 full leaves from the hibiscus die, and I used this flourish and this flourish from the Paisley's die set from the green watercolor paper. And I think it creates a beautiful, vibrant flower cluster. If you enjoyed this process video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a wonderful crafty day.